So you've got the fact that he doesn't know everybody on the ground where the Clintons have been there for 20 years, et cetera. You got the biggest factor of all, name recognition. Everybody knows Hillary Clinton. And if you're not knee-deep in politics, almost no one knew Bernie Sanders, okay, when we started this process.
True.
We know him for 40, 50 years, but the overwhelming majority of American voters had no idea who Bernie Sanders was. To overcome that by itself is amazing. Yet add on top of that the entire Democratic establishment, not a little bit, not 60-40, the entire Democratic establishment, including the DNC, is clearly on Hillary Clinton's side. And then on top of that, you add all the media hates you, thinks you should be dismissed even before the voting begins, and finds it insane to even talk about you having a chance of winning, even though you closed a 50-point lead nationwide. Like, there's nothing you can do to get the media to say, oh, we should take Bernie Sanders seriously. With all of those disadvantages, Bernie Sanders somehow is still competitive, and this weekend has already won 2 out of 3 states, and tonight he might win 3 out of 4 states overall for the weekend. And so it's very fair to talk about Hillary Clinton's delegate lead. It's not at all fair to talk about our superdelegates. That is an undemocratic process that'll never stand, which leads me to point number 2, which is the media keeps counting superdelegates. Almost every count I see has superdelegates in it. But wait a minute, you must suck at your job, because how do you not know after covering politics all these years? For example, in 2008, dozens of Hillary Clinton superdelegates, once Barack Obama won the voting, switched over and voted for Barack Obama because they're like, oh, that's nonsense. Obviously, I'm not going to vote for Hillary Clinton. Barack Obama won. So, yeah, I pledged for you. That was my show of support to you in the beginning, but we're not at the beginning. You lost, so I'm going to vote for Obama. That's what the superdelegates did in 2008. Not all of them, but a lot of them. So how can you count them? They haven't voted yet. Like, they vote at the end. So counting them ahead of time, it indicates you don't understand politics, or you are monumentally biased. And that bias, again, doesn't come from a cigar-filled room where they all conspire together. It comes from the fact that they're all in the same room. They're in that same bubble in Washington.
No, they have dinners together, lunch together. I mean, it was like that scandal over the weekend where they hacked into Trump's voicemail and you could hear all these journalists, left, right, ever, hey, oh yeah, we're going to have lunch, we're going to do this. They like each other. They hang out.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how it works, and he's not a part of that. And it makes it that much harder for him to get any traction. Add to that you've got, look, we live in an oligarchy, and he's telling the people with money, I'm going to take some of your money away from you. Even bigger, because who's paying for all the advertising?
Given all of that, the distance that Bernie Sanders has made up, the number of states he has won, and sometimes the enormity of his victories in Kansas. This guy who had no chance and was given no chance won by 35 points last night. So given all of that, what he has done is nearly miraculous. And how does the media treat it? Instead of saying, wow, isn't that amazing? Even if he loses, wasn't that amazing? It's nothing. It's nothing. Move along here. Why doesn't he just get out already? God, this guy's so annoying. Part of the reason he's so annoying is because he's coming for them. He's coming for that oligarchy. If you think that the major media organizations, the top 6 organizations that own most of the media in America,
90%,
aren't part of the oligarchy, well, then you didn't get clued into what's happening here. They are part of that power structure. They love that power structure. They get their power and their wealth from that power structure. So, of course, they hate Bernie Sanders. So that's why they won't come on TV and go, wow! Instead of, it's no big deal. We always knew it. He's the white states, the Bernie states, the weird states. We always knew it. I mean, what he's done is not interesting or important. Let's just make sure that he gets out of the race immediately. Gee, I wonder why you're covering it that way.